The chapel froze when my mother's voice cut through the air. "You changed your name." It wasn't shock. It was judgment. Every head turned. My father's hand tightened on the program. My brother stopped laughing in the doorway. I slid into the second row seat, the page still warm in my palm, my new name printed in a black that looked like a decision. The chair beside me, the one marked family, remained untouched. They thought today's silence exposed me. They had no idea it was exposing them. I grew up learning how to shrink between louder lives. In our house in Austin, noise meant importance, and importance never belonged to me. I was the quiet one, the one who cleaned her own messes and learned early not to interrupt the conversations that flowed over me like water. The first time I noticed the pattern, I was 12. At Vivian's art show, my mother hovered near her, beaming. I stood in a corner, holding a certificate for a regional science competition no one in my family had come to see. Mom passed me as if I were part of the wall. "Hold your sister's jacket," she said, handing me the soft fabric without a glance. I folded my certificate into my pocket. The crinkle was loud enough to echo, but no one heard it. It was a rehearsal for a lifetime of empty chairs. My high school graduation, where they were late because they'd stopped for coffee. My college awards ceremony, where I ate takeout alone on the dorm steps, the unopened envelope beside me. Each absence was a lesson. My place in the family was a quiet space at the edge of their lives. The final crack came with my dissertation defense. I had sent the announcement for April 22nd for months. The response was always the same, distracted nods, vague affirmations. Then, my brother posted an invitation for his spring barbecue. The same day. The same time. When I called my mother, she laughed softly. "Honey, don't be dramatic. We'll work something out." But I felt it then, the quiet, sinking certainty. They weren't confused. They weren't busy. They simply chose something else. Someone else. The next afternoon, standing outside the auditorium, my phone buzzed. "Where are you?" my mother asked, her voice thin over a backdrop of laughter and music. "We're all at Brendan's." I didn't answer. I let the silence fill the space between us, heavy and final. And in that silence, something inside me clicked into place. I walked in and defended 8 years of work to a room missing the 5 faces that should have been there. When "Congratulations, Dr. Evelyn Brennan" echoed in the chamber, I felt nothing but a familiar, quiet ache. That night, while their messages stacked up on my screen, I created a folder titled Transition. This wasn't a breakdown. It was a quiet, meticulous building. I downloaded the name change petition. I updated every financial account, shifting the bedrock of my identity from under their feet. It wasn't revenge, it was order. The kind of order they had never offered me. At the courthouse, I signed line by line, Evelyn Morrison. The name settled into the blank spaces like it belonged there. The clerk's stamp was a crisp, final sound. I moved to Portland, a city where silence felt like a way of breathing, not a punishment. I started a new job where no one compared me to a sibling. I built a life where showing up wasn't optional. The ripples eventually reached me. Frantic voicemails, confused emails. "You owe us an explanation," my mother pleaded. I owed them nothing. The systems I now existed in, legal, digital, professional, only recognized people who showed up. They weren't listed. The rest handled itself. And so, in the Austin chapel at Aunt Ruth's funeral, they finally saw the consequence. My new name on the program was a boundary they could not cross. "You should have told us," Vivian whispered, a lifetime of privilege curdling in her voice. "You should have shown up," I replied, my voice level. My mother followed me outside, her face a mask of confused fear. "Evelyn, this isn't fair. We made a mistake. Families move past things." I stood by my rental car, the wind soft on my face. "You chose a barbecue over my doctorate," I said. "You didn't forget. You prioritized." Her face tightened as the realization landed. There was no argument she could make to undo a court record. Love could be claimed, but paperwork was immune to guilt. I got in the car and watched their shapes blur through the windshield. They couldn't follow. Not legally, not digitally, not emotionally. Now, when I sign my name Evelyn Morrison, the silence that follows isn't empty. It's mine. And some doors stay closed simply because I no longer live on the other side.